Hey, this is Tyler with Diesel Geek here to introduce our Panzer skid plate for the Mark 7 and Mark 8 vehicles. This product fits the 2015 and newer Golf Sport Wagon GTI and R models, as well as the 2019 and newer Jetta sedan. When we envisioned this product, we set out to develop something that integrated really cleanly into the body of the car, as well as offered the protection and peace of mind that our customers expect from a Diesel Geek skid plate. Starting with the plate itself, we opted for a single piece design, which is superior both from a strength as well as an aesthetics standpoint. Levi spent way too much time working these complex bends through numerous iterations so that they match up with the profile of the factory splash sealed fender liners. And we shaped the overall contour of the plate such that it doesn't reduce ground clearance or approach angle whatsoever. We also have a removable knockout that provides additional transmission cooling for the all-wheel drive cars. Moving on to the mounting brackets, we opted for a boxed stainless steel structure that builds onto the two M10 fasteners used to secure the cross member that resides behind the bumper cover. That's in contrast with the all-track style plates, which rely on a single M8 fastener here. Anyway, with the highlights out of the way, we'll go ahead and move on to the installation. Okay, so these are the tools we're going to use while we're installing this skid plate. First and foremost, you're going to need some way to elevate and support the vehicle, so a jack and stands so that you can safely work under the front of the car. You're going to need to be able to remove and install the front wheels. You'll need a 17mm wrench and socket. You'll need a flex head ratchet that you'll drive an M10 triple square with. You'll want a 13mm socket, a 10mm socket, a T25 Torx, a Phillips. If you have a diesel car, you will want a T45 Torx. You may need a M8 by 1.25 tap or thread chaser. A little awl is nice to have. You're going to need a 16mm ratcheting end wrench. A 17mm ratcheting end wrench is nice, but not entirely necessary. You're going to need a little pry tool, some general purpose grease, and a work light or flashlight. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be doing is we'll be installing our large flange hex body rib nuts into our mounting brackets here using the installation tool that is integrated into the back of the plate. You want to use about that much grease. And then especially when you first start sinking this rib nut, you want to make sure that you keep everything really nice and square. And you just keep cranking on it until it firms up. If you need a torque spec, it's about 30 foot-pounds. With that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and elevate this car and remove the front wheels and the fender liners. Okay, at this point we're going to be loosely installing the forward mounting brackets. The forward mounting brackets mount to the front of this flange right here. So we'll need to remove this bolt and this bolt, which use a 16mm hex head, as well as this bolt, which is our horn bracket, and that one is a M10 triple square. Because this is a Mark 7, we do have line of sight through the grill here, so we're going to try to show you from that angle. On the 7.5 and the Mark 8 cars, this is occluded, but the procedure's the same. On the R cars, you have coolers here, which make access more difficult, but we have installed this on the Rs, and it is possible without having to remove those coolers. So we'll just go finger tight, and then we're going to back off about half a turn. Verify that you have about a 1/4 inch of clearance or more with these AC lines. We sized this bracket so that it was going to provide the best clearance for the most amount of cars. However, there's a lot of variance in these. If you do not have that clearance, they are very easily to adjust by hand. Just be ginger with them because they're aluminum. We're going to leave our horn down here for just a second until we get the final installation and the adjustment completed. Just go ahead and center that fold over nut up. Okay, so the next step is going to be just doing a loose install of the plate on the car and the mounting brackets that we just installed. This first run of plates is going to have some little tabs here. They don't interfere with anything, but they do look a little nicer without them. So if you want to remove them, you can just break them off with a plier like this. And then you're going to have some rough edges here. And so you might want to just knock those down with a file right quick. So one last thing before we do the initial install on the plate. The plate is going to attach the subframe with these 3 holes back here. If you live in an area of the country where they use a lot of road salt, it's probably a good idea to just make sure that you can thread these bolts in smoothly by hand before doing the initial install. If not, then you probably want to run a tap or a thread chaser through them. So we've got a drop of oil on our thread chaser here. The thread pitch is 8 by 1 1/4. Finger tight and back off a little bit. Same story on the other side. And just kind of center things up as much as you can in the back. And then we'll install our little stem screw up front. We may need to wiggle around the position here just so that the fold over nut aligns with the receptacle. Okay, at this point everything's loosely where we want it. We're just going to go ahead and finalize the position of our forward mounting brackets. We're going to come in with our 16mm ratcheting end wrench and tighten the 2 bolts on each side. We'll just lift up gently on the plate as we do that. The torque spec for these guys is 30 foot-pounds. Okay, so if you're happy with the position of your plate, then at this point we're just going to take it back off so that we can install our horn brackets and the side skirts. Okay, so we're going to install the horn bracket now. The long end with the small hole goes on the horn stud. And just confirm that the wiring harness isn't stretched. Everything's kind of in its happy spot. All right, now we'll put our splash shields back in. I'm just gonna get these bolts started. I'm not gonna tighten them just in case they need to wiggle around a little bit to get totally happy. Okay, now that we've got all the bolts installed, we'll just tighten everything up. About 15 foot-pounds for these back 3. $30 foot-pounds for the front 2. And then we'll just go through and snug down the rest of the side skirt screws. All right, that's about it. We definitely took some time, made sure that everything was nice and positioned without any tension, and that means that every subsequent removal or installation of this plate will just be real straightforward. You won't have to reposition anything. So we'll just put our wheels back on, and that's about it. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy this sweet new product.